his wild... The boatman stood amazed. Never in his wildest dreams had he imagined that he might become the husband of this girl, so rare in beauty that no man had ever been allowed to gaze upon her face. With a surge of hope in his heart, he raised the flute to his lips with trembling fingers, and he began to play his favorite melody. Soon, the tender, warm notes filled the empty halls of the grand house and reached the bed where the girl lay. In a moment, she opened her eyes, and a smile touched her lips. "He has returned," she whispered, and she begged the handmaiden to help her to her feet. With renewed energy, the girl walked through the house to the source of the music. At first, her heart pounded as she saw the strong young man from afar. But as she came nearer and saw his face, her eyes grew cold. Though his body was young and strong, the boatman's face was ugly. Out of politeness, she gave a slight bow. "Thank you for playing the lovely music on your flute. I feel much better now. Father, please pay the boatman for his kindness, and do not worry about me. I am over my illness." Quickly, she returned to her room and once again looked out the window at the boats coming and going on the river below, wondering how she could have been so foolish to dream about a simple boatman. But the boatman's heart was torn apart. He had gazed on a face that men see only in their dreams. He refused to take the bag of gold the mandarin offered, and left the mansion with heavy footsteps. No longer did he have the desire to play his flute, for the music reminded him of the beautiful girl. Neither did he have the spirit to work on the peaceful river, for it, too, reminded him of the girl. Everything he saw or did caused his heart to ache with great longing for the girl that he knew could never love him. Finally, many months later, he lay down and died of a broken heart. When friends and relatives prepared to send the boatman's body down the river in a farewell voyage, they saw that it was gone. But in its place, where his heart would have been, lay an exquisite piece of green jade. A relative took the jade to a carver, who shaped it into a beautiful drinking goblet. Some time later, the relative sold the goblet to the mandarin, who gave it to his daughter. That night, the girl's handmaiden served her cool water in the new gift. As the girl lifted the jade goblet to her lips, she thought she heard a melancholy tune that she had not heard for a very long time, something that was both sad and lovely. Then, as she sipped the water, she saw in the bottom of the cup the image of a small ghee and the young boatman steering it down the peaceful river. Suddenly, the girl remembered the boatman's sweet music. She thought about all the happy hours she had spent listening to his flute and the wonderful dreams she had dreamed because of him. Since he had left, no one, not even the most handsome suitors in the land, had made her feel such warmth and happiness. Now, it seemed her days and nights were even longer and more empty than before. Her heart ached with remorse, and tears filled her eyes. "Dear boatman, your love was the truest I have ever known. You were good and kind, and I made a terrible mistake. Wherever you are, please forgive me," she whispered. A single teardrop slid down the girl's petal-smooth cheek into the goblet. When the tear touched the water, the goblet burst into pieces, and a breeze suddenly rushed in through the window. The girl saw a thin wisp of fog rise from the shattered goblet and sail out into the night. The sound of a flute blended with the sound of the night-bird's song, but this time the tune was full of joy. The boatman's soul was free at last to go in peace.